Starting soon, just getting things set up. Music test with stream, doing a talkie test on YouTube, see how it goes. Doing another talkie test with sound. Let's see how that sounds like with music. Okay, I think we're good now. Setting up music and voice. Gotta do it. Let's see. Stream bunnies not connected. Okay, let's get some bunnies moving. Five, 6 bunnies. Interesting. My backgrounds are back. To mess with them a bit more. How to center this title thing? Some property on it. Starting soon title. I'm just trying to see if I can adjust it. It looks like it's cutting off a little bit. Top. Spend my time on this, but I'll fix it later. Let's just tell people why we are here. go. Chat. Doing artist break. Let's move. Just letting know the people who might be in the channel or later. This is color. So, still not fully based on going on my schedule. So I'm gonna disappear for a second. Actually, I gotta close the door. I hear voices in the other room. It's gonna distract me, but should be right. So, oh wow, it scales the browser for you guys. I didn't realize it does that. So I have to keep the browser maximized at all times. Okay, diet. Today we are gathering together, so let's go through this stream education. Welcome to the stream, guys. Education is a fundamental part of learning to draw, because when we watch different artists, we will see similarities or differences that may warrant questions in our minds. For example, a teacher might show us how to draw a rock using primitive shapes, while another might illustrate using a Zentangle approach. Otherwise, the review is useful. So let's go on to YouTube and put that in there for next time. So starts word with so. I do. So let's go on YouTube or other teaching platforms to learn. This is an artist channel. We're gonna learn together. Based on Ruben Laura stuff, mostly. So, what is this education stuff? Education is part of the diet from Ruben. Lots of people, I'm just gonna read what he says here. Lots of people always wanted to learn to be good artists, but have discouraged by the lack of time and training and money and focus. Diet approach can help you use your time in a way that will not only help you grow, but will have more fun doing it. So today happens to be one of the 4 methods of doing that. And Laura goes into creating a schedule for yourself so you can learn to draw. So, guys, if you want to check this out, I'll put the link in the chat. Then you can play around with that stuff. Right now, we're gonna go through the the education stuff. What am I thinking? So what does it say here in the caption? You can't create something from nothing. Opening up a book is the only way to add data into your brain. So let's do that. I suppose you guys should think about what topic you want to choose to learn about. Are interested in following the diet stuff. I'm gonna run through the bolds most of the time, so you guys, if you want to read through the stuff, go to the link is that you don't need a college degree to make a living with art. Art school degree can be overwhelmingly expensive, practical, and even impossible. Fortunately, college isn't the only place to learn from skilled professionals. But then he goes and tells us the tuition is expensive. Let's eliminate the overhead. Two important things that college does offer is structure and critique. First, recognize that structure comes from discipline. Second, be willing to pay a professional to critique your work. If you've ever went to, let's say, a fine artist, and you saw that he's a painter and he has a paint shop, and you wanted to join a mentorship. Yeah, how about a mentorship? Like with Adam Duff, for example, because he does offer it. You have to pay a professional to get advice, otherwise they won't be so excited to help you because they know that you might not be serious. One of the best ways to do that is to offer some sort of value back to the artist. One, you'll be supporting him, and two, he'll give you back the support. So make the instructors, make your time worth their while, or make your worth their while, or something like that. Okay, so if you don't want to do any of those things, then there's plenty of resources online to start learning. So how about learning from different teachers? I think we do this already, but for those that might not know, Laura put together a giant source of links to many free resources. So lots of YouTube things. Many of you might have heard of Proco, Modern Day James, and the school, the famous school. And if you guys want, you could check out Gumroad, check out Brent or Rivera. A lot of content on their channels. And if you guys don't want to do that, you could also go to Skillshare, an actual school. I think FZD School has also a academy that you can join. Right? So that's a part of our artist break going strong. So how do I move on to this? How do you move on from this? It's hard because I haven't moved on to move off of it. I actually just completely stopped from some time ago. Actually, don't give myself any water. I hope I don't lose my voice while I'm talking. Anyway, that's a random aside. I stopped drawing because I stopped following the diet because I wanted to focus on live streaming, and I really like entertaining people. Now I'm here. Now I'm trying to get back into the diet and continue drawing art. So today is probably the first day of this month that I'm back to do it. So I am thinking of going back to, what the heck was I doing? Rock studies, rock formations. But it's very tempting for me to go and work on my overlay. So let me just quickly switch back to my active view and show you what I mean. And hopefully I won't be tempted to do work in that area today. Very tempting. Okay, yeah, so here is the overlay that I'm working on. At the moment, I don't like the overlay that I have now. It's kind of like a makeshift, quick and dirty setup that I did. So I'm on the way of fixing this one. I don't know how long it will take. So hopefully I'll have something put together. I have to keep finding time and inspiration to work on this. And you don't want to force inspiration. I want to focus on more fundamental and try different things. So that's maybe what I have to start doing. So going back to artist break for a second, I don't have a stream deck, so I have to switch time. There's an app for it, but whatever. And there's hotkeys. Not used to doing that. I should start. Here. Need to find something that we want to learn for today. Get some education going. So I suppose you guys could follow along what I have or mute the audio and not follow what I have. My plan is to go through some YouTube tutorials and start rock studies again and start drawing them inside the bamboo. I'll start with YouTube because I did that last time. So yeah, that's the plan. And if you guys like this, I hope you join along for the ride. Let's open up YouTube. I have to mute the music. Remember drawing some stuff with Alphonse done, so let's see. Let's see how far we get. Just want to make sure the mic is running. Yeah, the mic is running. Okay, good. Yeah, that would be a disaster if there's no sound at all. Okay, let's go. Rock formations. Get things like that. I want to draw. How about how to draw rocks? That was my big one. So let's maybe start with Alphonse done 7 years ago. I watched this a number of times, so good to come back to it. Okay, I got to fix something. There's no audio from the browser.
The top is most directly facing the light source. This one next, and this one is facing away from it. So of course, you know, the cast shadow will be like down here somewhere. Okay. Now, if you can render this with a pen, you can pretty much draw rocks with ease, because when you draw rocks, it's essentially so when you draw rocks, it's essentially just a modification of a block or a cube, right? So for example, let's look at just ways you can modify a block. So say for example we have a block like that, right? You can modify that same block so it can actually look something like that. You know, you can modify it so it looks like that. It's pretty simple actually. I think the major thing that's important to learn when it comes to rendering rocks is a simple block, like so. If you can render this, you can draw rocks really easily. All right, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So, not being too neat here, but here's a rock here, and it's being lit from our upper right, right? So say for example, the light source is in this direction, okay? So the top is most directly facing the light source, this one next, and this one is facing away from it. So of course, you know, the cast shadow will be like down here somewhere, okay? Now, if you can render this with a pen, you can pretty much draw rocks with ease, because when you draw rocks, it's essentially just a modification of a block or cube, right? So for example, let's look at just ways you can modify a block. So say for example, we have a block like that, right? You can modify that same block so it can actually look something like that. You know, you can modify it so it looks like that. See, all I'm doing here is just playing around with variations of this. You can use, you can stretch it. You know, you can elongate it so it looks really tall. You know, and as I said, you know, with drawing most things, once you can see them as, you know, simple forms, it makes it a lot easier to draw. And the thing is with simple forms, especially thinking of a block or sphere or cylinder, is that they convey volume really easily, so they look three-dimensional. All right, so that's the thing. They take care of the whole idea of things looking, you know, like it takes up space for you. You don't have to worry about that. Now, once you can think of rocks that you're drawing in terms of block, then you can modify the shapes. And then after modifying the shapes, and what, you know, you take another step, then you can start combining them. So for example, I have a simple I can have a simple block like so, right? And then I can think of adding it to something else. So say for example, you may have another block like that. See? It's attached to it. Then you can even put this on a larger block like that. See, and that's the main idea when it comes to drawing rocks, is like thinking of simplifying the forms in terms of a block, and also just thinking of variations of them. So for example, I could have something like this. That's the, you know, the key step to first think of what you're drawing in terms of blocks. And notice also that I am not what I'm doing here also is see, just using the same basic principle. Okay, and then when you think of using shading, then it's just a matter of thinking of all of them in terms of this sense. Okay, once you can draw a block and then light it, or, you know, be able to render it as if the light source is coming from any direction you choose. So for example, and the good thing with blocks is that it's just, you're just using 3 different values. See, the lighter value, the middle value, and the dark value. See, the light source is coming from this direction. So for example, I can apply the same light source here to all of these blocks. So I would know that this would be the darker side, this would be the next one, and this would be the lighter one. Same thing with this. It's the same principle. See, and another thing to mention here also is that I am not even adding any texture yet. This is just thinking of them just in terms of, you know, their basic structure, which is, you know, the most important thing to think about. See, I'm applying the same lighting conditions to all of them. I'm assuming the light is coming from the top and to the right for all of them. So all these sides are in shadow. See, when you're drawing complex forms, you have to think in that sense. So for example, if I were lighting this, and I could even make this a little bit more complicated, I could add something else to it. All I'm doing is just adding basic forms, and just, you know, you can see how a mountain could actually evolve from this. I'm just adding basic forms. I'm thinking of it in terms of basic forms, and just, you know, modifying forms and modifying the shape to still fit the structure of a basic block, right? Now, and I'm not even adding texture in terms of, you know, giving character to the blocks as yet. Now, say for example, I'm going to draw, let's just make a simple example of something like, okay, so generally I would draw with a pencil before I actually start into this, but I'm just going to go in and show you like how you could, you know, build first from a basic block, and then you make it a little bit more complicated. So say for example, just using my pencil, I could draw something like so. Um, See, I made it using just a simple block form. I'm picturing this as something like this. All right, that's the basic format that I'm using to make this. Then, of course, I'd go in and use the edges, just like in that tutorial I mentioned about, for making realistic textures. Then you could go in and give the rock some character. So notice the little lines I'm using here actually giving it some character, but they're also at the same time preserving the major planes. See that? But this is the basic shape that I have in my mind. See, this is just the side plane, which is, just like this. I can even make this a little bit more complicated by, giving it a sense like it has another edge or form projecting out. And that's pretty easy. You can just do something like this. So it's almost like I'm giving it a shelf. See that? So now this becomes a piece in itself, like so. And you can continually just keep, making it more complex in this sense. But the main idea is you have to keep in mind the
Second, this mic is working. Mic is working, okay. Switch to active and try to practice some of the stuff ourselves. Get one today. Today's day 12/18. So I'll be working in Clip Studio to get this going. This is diet. Some runs today. Vacation. See how we are doing. Save your file somewhere. Can't see that. Of silence. What is this? Diet. This month. Okay, so let's draw some basic shapes and then maybe do some lighting. Alphonse. So light from the noon, high noon, so that's what we're gonna do, just keep it simple. Let's draw the same square that he was doing. box challenge. So here's our cube to do some shading lines like he put in. Sometimes it's easier to rotate the cubes, so it's easier to draw. To do time lapse now. It's stuff. Do with it. Share it with. Is that on my Mac, every time I would hit the undo button, things would just switch to another tool. It's not doing that here, that's great. Sun's coming from the top, so it's cool. So that's the brightest part. Side. See, I don't know if this side A, side B is to be lighter or darker. I guess it's up to me. So I'm gonna say that A is the darkest. Keep going. See which way is easier for me to draw this way. Just have to move your arm around and see which way works for you. I'm not drawing on the screen. I would like to do that. It's on the computer. Using the bamboo for now. Great for your posture too. So the top is going to be our most lightest spot. Thank you. So, okay. It's the shape that he told us about. Now, this one thing that was interesting to me was the visioning the shape and creating more complexity as you and thinking about the odd shapes and the simple shapes. So follow it, but I'm gonna go and try to do this kind of thing. See what we come up with. Some shapes from this one maybe. That's what actually just showing us different shapes. Something like this. This is definitely an odd shape. Odd in the sense that say it's odd. But if we were to erase some of this and it turn this way, I don't know. It should open up. It should turn more because it's to open more. This is when I was doing 250 challenge. 200 draw box, yeah. Can't get that. It's like at the tip of my tongue. It's not coming. So this is like an odd shape, I guess. Do the say this thing. Maybe let's make it bigger so it's easier to draw inside of it. Much, which is also good. Odd shape is I have to fit lines inside of it. Again, the light's coming top and side. So, odd shape. Some more. Just freely. Box, draw. Tell us, like, a crosshair kind of sorta, and just try to go at it. This is good actually. Drawing these odd things. Very odd. So this is somewhat more boxy than I want it to be. Kind of having odd shapes. So let's go on another artist break, because since we're having trouble seeing, or at least I am. Jump over to YouTube, the last place we were, and just search online odd shapes. See if I can use that as inspiration. Drawing. Because at the end of the day, we need shape language to draw. Silhouettes. Now we have a whole library of stuff that we can look at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screenshot of this thing. Some of these out. And let's go back to Clip Studio and see if that works. Active. Set our stuff. Let's copy this thing in. See what it is. I want to look at stuff. Copy machines, but I just need to get ideas. It's hard to draw when you don't know. So let's go back to layer 5. Top of it happens to me all the time, and I'm sure it happened to you too. Right? So let's see. Shapes. I guess a star is considered a shape, right? Came up in Bing. I mean, there. Odd shape. So some 3D-dimensionality. Side. X or not. Lines inside. Just confident. This is not my idea, it's from Michael. This needs to go way back. It looks better. Light should be coming from the top. Maybe we should erase this. should be the darkest. Let's pick as I could, do that. So, okay, that's an odd shape. Do another odd shape. There's a whole bunch in here. Stars. Big one. Puzzle piece. This one work out the best. This area too. Thinking about. So this part will be up. Some lines. This one has curvature because of the setup. So to the end, I'm keeping the lines more closer together. Same thing here. This one is dark. Tunnel dark. This is an odd shape, definitely. Very nice shape. This one came out nicely. Let's hide this for a second because I want to try his shape that he go in the tutorial on. Just look at how he looks like for a sec. It's a T shape. So this type of thing. T. Complicated. It's your task. Sketching and trying. Stick to fundamentals for this way too. So same thing, and just like let's remind ourselves that this light with the light. I'm gonna change my light a little bit, exactly like his. So what if our light looks like a bunny rabbit? Whiskers are the light source. One thing. So now demonstrate some kinds of shade. This shouldn't be as much up here. So now I have to do the same thing. Side. That's the best trick. some more space. For some reason I want to say one trick pony. Okay, so there, one side of it. So it's complicated. How about I extrude this way? Get complicated in a second. So here, second. It's complicated. Again. This is part of it, so it should just follow this group and we'll just come out this way. It's really coming out on the shouldn't be too box studies. So here, similar shape from that one, just building on top of it to do some shading. Remember, bunny's up here. It's more light over, so we forget about him. Light is shining on the top. These tops should stay bright, but the inside part should continue being dark. So looks like this is overlapping, so it should be really dark. Lightening it up as I move. Should be really dark on this side. Let's see, how is the stream going? Still going? Dropped frames? Excellent. This area, this corner should be kind of sort of dark. The light's coming from the top again, so this part. Thinking since the light is so close, maybe these should not be as close, so I'm going to split them as I get down, making these lines look. My work alarm is going. So it's 9:45. I should start shop here. Advice to you guys. This one should have more light, so let's. There's our odd shape that we just built on. The one that's our starting point, and we just build on top of it. So that's cool. Down this far. Top. Yeah, it's a little odd. Oh, because you know, there is no area here actually. Let's erase some of this, clean this up. It just goes down. This doesn't overlap. Why it's important to draw through, so you don't. get yourself confused. Thick. Yeah, so that cuts down there. There's a, let's go down here, but it's visible to us. So yeah. Let's see, how long have we been streaming for? Stream deck. It says right. So let's switch over to me for a second and tell me to start the sets again. Yeah, so we just finished education today. This is a good success. I haven't been able to do art diet for a while, so I'm to be back to do some studies. Studies are coming up too this week. I can continue streaming. Let's see. Yeah, so thank you for coming to the channel. Just got something out of this. Check out the Twitch stream because that's the main place where I'm streaming to right now. It has more features and chat stuff that make the channel interactive. Just taking a look at my chat, so yeah. I guess we're just ending now, really. There's not much going on. Gotta go back to work and start the week. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try again. Try to stream at 8:30. So I can get to the computer. Yeah, in case anyone wants to know why I start early, because it's better to do the most important thing in life in the morning. Why is that? Because I think that's when you might have the most active brain. If you're excited about sleeping, that should be the first thing you should do, so just keep sleeping. So now here we are. No, not really, just hit me up if you guys have any suggestions or comments about this process. If you guys want to draw collaboratively, there's some information on the about page about joining our meetup. Administrators of FBC. We draw collaboratively every Saturday and Wednesday. So this Wednesday's meetup is coming. So check it out if you guys wanna, if you like prompt-based things. Right. So let's close out, and I'll catch you guys again maybe tomorrow.